Today we're making head cheese, hog head cheese. I'm not the biggest fan, but my dad is. I am a big fan of not wasting things, and these are 3 of our pig's heads that we have had processed that my dad has saved and froze, and he really likes head cheese, so I'm helping him today. It's the first time. Kind of like to know how to do these things. Just part of my quirkiness, I guess, that I have to know how to make hog head cheese. I'm probably going to record the majority of this on my phone just because the ease of it. It's there. It's easier to set up and hold. So I apologize in advance, but I'm going to bring y'all along for the majority of this process. Maybe not the grossest parts of it. So you're welcome. To anyone that might not know what hog head cheese is, it's essentially you boil with a bunch of seasonings and spices the head of the pig that's been all of the gross stuff taken off. There's no hair. It's basically the head with the bone and the meat still intact. And you boil all of that down to where the meat falls off of the skeletal head of the pig. And you take that and you make kind of a loaf out of it. A lot of people eat it cold, just on crackers. Some people heat it up for breakfast as you would slice cheese. And heat that up, eat it on crackers with mustard. That's the way my dad likes to eat it. That's the way I ate it as a child. I can't really get over the idea that this is meat from the head of the hog. It's completely petty of me, I'm sure, but that's that. A random tip for making super fluffy scrambled eggs is to add a pinch of baking powder per 2 eggs that you are scrambling, and of course a splash of milk.
First time I ever eat with chicken.
Yeah.
Good.
Eating his scrambled eggs. Breakfast from the chickens. Okay, so explain a little bit about how you would eat hog head cheese when you were younger.
I would cut slices about ½ inch thick off the loaf, and then just put it in the skillet with maybe a little bit of olive oil, keep it sticking, and then what happens then is it'll fall to pieces and it comes out kind of like a mush, and then I top it with mustard good and eat it. And, I don't like it cold. That's why I refry it. Not because it needs it, but it tastes a lot better.
This is Steve. I met Steve the other day walking on top of the shed. I heard his little feet, and I looked up and he looked down, and we made eye contact, and he's just kind of sticking around. He eats the dog food and comes up on the carport and hangs out. Steve is a grackle. I'm really not sure how he ended up alone and in my yard, but he is very, very tame. Well, that was a learning experience. Will I do it again? Absolutely not. Unless I have to, of course, unless Dad asks for help again. What we have found out is that it's not exactly the recipe that my dad was hoping for. I actually believe he's wanting something a little bit different than head cheese, something called grackle, maybe, if I'm pronouncing it right. It looks like that is where you add cornmeal into it. So it's easy enough for him to fix at home. He fries it up anyways. He can just add that stuff in as he's cooking it. It's not my cup of tea. I didn't try it. Brian tried a piece. He said it's not bad. Just not my cup of tea. I can't get over the thought of what exactly it is. It's nothing bad. It's just the meat off of the head is just such a long process for 2 pans of the loaf of head cheese. The process for head cheese goes like brine the heads, let them soak overnight in some salt water. You boil the heads in whatever seasonings that you want. You remove the meat from the heads and you piece it up into small pieces. You stick that with a little bit, top it with a little bit of the broth from where you boiled the heads. And it sets up into a loaf because of the fat and the grease. That is essentially the process. It was easy enough. It was pretty messy. It was kind of gross. You want to make sure that the heads are hairless. There's nothing left in it that is gross, for lack of a better word. All of that stuff is gone. You know, to each their own. If it's your cup of tea, that's your cup of tea. Just not my cup of tea. I'm more of a coffee girl, I guess. Dad asked me to help. Of course I'm going to help. I enjoyed listening to his stories. I enjoyed learning from him. You know, it was a hard couple days. I'm not going to include the recipes because there's plenty of them out there and they all have different seasonings. I guess you just basically have to either get in with somebody that already has a family heirloom recipe for head cheese or find one that suits your tastes. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed our mess that is head cheese. If you have any suggestions or if you have a recipe that you do enjoy, please leave that for me and share if you would. Thanks for watching and until next time. Clearly, I'm an expert at this. Super awesome meat wrapping skills. I think I missed my calling knife.